this one.
Oh yeah, probably.
So here we are, Overpass is the battleground. A chance to have replayed Ancient from ECSTATIC, but they chose this. They selected Overpass as the map to do battle on. Cloud9. A big question after their first game is, where is Electronic? Will he show up in this matchup?
He is very much on the milk carton right now, missing in this tournament. They're going to punish and connect. A nice chase for ECSTATIC, still going into the stack up on this top site. Hobbit was a monster in that opening matchup. He's got to do it again. Denies 1-2, but no more. And out in the site is Perfecto, the clutch king of Cloud9, and they just throw themselves at ECSTATIC. That will leave a bitter taste in your mouth.
Yeah, especially, you know, at the T-side opener for ECSTATIC, the golden chance to lock in a pistol. You're running on just raw momentum out through mid after getting away with this double kill down in connector. You feel like you've done so much, and then Hobbit delivers this swift double, and Perfecto sweeping it out from the dumpster, cleanly done to clutch up 1v2 and rob ECSTATIC of what could have been a hot start here. Winning pistol T-side is a huge boost to anyone on Overpass.
Yeah.
When T-side rounds are worth so much, getting a couple for free can really make or break your game here.
ECSTATIC doing it from the back foot with a full eco. And Cloud9, who, remember, made a clean 3-0 run through the opening stage. Well, they got the worst possible opening matchup. I can't even blame them for being 0-1 down after having to take on Spirit, including their ex-AWPer. An ex-teammate has never quite felt like an ex until that game. But Cloud9, they're not going to roll over here in the elimination stage. Not quite the super team they were once touted, certainly not in results or form. But you know what has looked good? Axel's made a bit of a recovery here in Copenhagen, and Hobbit has been heroic all the way through. He dropped 28 kills in that opening round matchup against ECSTATIC in the opening stage.
Yeah, you know, I think as well for Cloud9, they're a team that are acutely aware that versus the top squads, that is where they're at their most vulnerable. But when you have them versus teams that are on the rise, that's where this team is supposed to stand and deliver. I mean, you know, they had a clean run through that opening stage, which I think really, you know, drives that point home. The idea that they're not meant to be called into question when they're versus the up-and-comers, right? It's only versus the best in the world, the really established teams, where they feel the burn of, you know, not having a full-time offer. Come through with the guns in this round though, and Axel just hopping and skipping around over in the toilets. Contact play up through short right now. Salazar pulls the util. Axel's been spotted. He's going to try run down the util players. This is a nice bit of disruption out of Axel. And it's let them keep this even 3-on-3 as they move in for the retake. Ollie arrives just a second too late. A little further afield to force them out from the plant.
Just sat on the bomb right now. Perfecto's trying to force a player out. Hobbit just shooting through the wall to do the same thing. He got punished. They're ready to swing off Norios, and they'll do exactly that. The captain puts them on his back with 4 kills from Patty. Very nicely done. Cloud9 won't find that instantaneous retake. ECSTATIC, very scary post-plant positions to be in. They make it work. This map has been middle of the pack for both these teams as of late in this year. They're sitting around 50% win rate, but also a common pickup of ECSTATIC. So they've certainly got the experience on it. Nice shot Electronic just walks into the waiting rifle. Nodios, any more? 2 for 1 will do nicely. And an entry on A just thins the herd even better for ECSTATIC. They'll take that path.
And this is a really nice start for ECSTATIC. You don't win the pistol, but you find success in the first rifle, you find even more in the next. So you break apart the bonus round, now you win the economy game. This is already a really nice spot to be in on your T side. It's one that any overpass squad would be envious of. And so Cloud9 are very quickly going to find themselves on the back foot here. Saved guns won't provide a full buy in the next for Cloud9. It really will be Perfecto and Hobbit having to just do some heavy lifting if they want to cook up a round. Nodios loved that he got so many chances to get involved down towards B as well. They really wanted to try and isolate that one fight while they had it, and he was there, able to put up the numbers. Well timed as well with a kill over towards the top site, and that round comes together nicely for ECSTATIC.
Questions already getting thrown in the way of Cloud9, but answers will have to wait one more round. Eco with a couple of surviving guns.
Hobbit's boosted over in mid, down towards the toilets. ECSTATIC are playing it fast up through long. Hobbit might never even get a chance to get involved here.
Start walking as well, so he's not even going to hear this.
This is great timing and great space for ECSTATIC to have. And when they get so deep and they see nothing, they should know that there's players over towards toilets. Now they hear the footsteps. Backstab comes in and both Electronic and Hobbit are cut down.
Fantastic call for Patty to do that on an anti-eco and find the gap. Even though there were guns, there was a reason to feel a threat from Cloud9, especially if they're together. ECSTATIC skirt past the problem. Already fielding 3 T rounds on overpass. Nothing to turn your nose up at. Like I said, when they played Mouse earlier, they managed 6. They still lost out that map by the skin of their teeth.
Terrorists win.
Nice exit and 5 alive round for ECSTATIC to build some economy at the start of this map. Patty was at the forefront of that game as well, 21 and 16. In-game leader.
Yeah, you can imagine that's what made it feel even more heartbreaking, right? Kind of giving it his all across the board in every conceivable department. It's still not enough to close it out.
Gotta forget about it now.
All right, then for Cloud9, time to get back to business, right? They kind of need to put a stop to this as fast as they can. The early game of the CT side is where you're at your most vulnerable here if you're Cloud9. And so you don't want these rounds to start racking up against you. You don't want to feel like this is already slipping through your fingers. And so the chance to kind of regain control over the game is now. Rightfully going to be keeping a keen eye on Hobbit if he's able to replicate some of the great games we've seen from him. If Axar's able to keep this recovery coming through, and if Electronic's able to show up at all on day 1 of the elimination stage.
Yeah, I mean, if he's going quiet, this Cloud9 will never be making a run, right? You'd like to think. Especially after conceding the in-game leadership role Boomich has been fragging in that position.
And, you know, with all that taken into account, he was like the one guy you were meant to be able to have full faith in within the Cloud9 project. He was meant to be like the undoubtable piece, really.
Okay, a mid fake, and it's kept 3 here as they drop into what should be a soon B hit. Kraken needs to sell something. He's got no nades, but he's got to put some pressure on here. Right now, just looking to cut down rotations. Molly's getting thrown on B, clearing out positions. Sooner they go, the better. Cloud9 are still 3 strong on top side. Boomich is starting to doubt that, but they've been re-smoked, and that couldn't come at a worse time for ECSTATIC. Jump spot to get info. Sees Nodios backing up into Monster, so Cloud9, yeah, this is a perfect move. 4 players on lower. As
Hobbit arrives as well, he's coming in with an extra incendiary. They've still got this smoke and electronic to get dropped in over towards the barrels.
Oh, they're bailing.
ECSTATIC is starting to try and get ahead of this by rotating up, but they lose Kraken on the lurk. They lose him to Axal, aggressive in the bathrooms. Are they going to try hit this window of catching Axal before he gets back into the site? They know he's over towards long right now. They don't have time to home in on him. The rotates are already here for Cloud9. Boomich with 1, Axal getting involved from over there at long. And he'll finish the job with 3 kills in the round. It's a great one from Axal.
That was ugly for ECSTATIC on the timing, but the decision was made for them by Cloud9. That re-smoke of Monster came at a beautiful time, and you know, ECSTATIC don't want to go through that smoke, so they have to bail and go back up to A. The second they make that call and pull everyone out from the Monster side, that's when Kraken dies. So they lose all their control, they're stuck in limbo, and they're running with 30 seconds, so they kind of just have to commit. Cloud9 maul them on that late A hit, but there was a window where ECSTATIC, if they pushed with that Molotov on barrel, they would have had 2 players at B and a lot of room. But they just hesitated a little bit too long. Not to know, though. Back to the drawing board. Cloud9 looking to make a play. Could just be holding for a Monster hit, but a deep smoke. Walking into it. Something you see TTs do fairly commonly. They won't be that brazen. There's an AWP here as well for Salazar.
Yeah, going to be keeping a keen eye on that, right? You hope that your AWP is able to find success in this matchup, because that is the one class that most teams look to outdo Cloud9 in.
Whoa.
He's very, very low, but that nade will just fall short of him.
Cloud9 are really aggressive here.
Double setup in the bathrooms, ready to go. Axal's got the shadow to play with, and he uses that for the first.
Nice.
Hobbit with the reply, and a missed shot from Salazar's AWP. That chance for the trade just eludes ECSTATIC. Now they're left looking for answers down here at B, and Nodios might be able to provide them. Kill to Electronic puts all the pressure on Perfecto. We've seen him step up in clutches. This one feels like a 1v3 for Perfecto, and he's rising to the occasion. Time bought for the rotates as now Cloud9 move into position out through the heavens. Salazar's missing on this AWP, but Perfecto not missing a beat. Oh, and he's going to finish it with the flick back to Patty at Monster. Great start from Perfecto in this matchup.
Yeah, those are really nice shots, especially that opening kill. Feels like I've never seen a Monster smoke be this much of a problem for a team, but Patty doesn't feel like he can go through it on 10 health with the bomb, and so he's locked out. Perfecto's allowed to escape, and Cloud9, even though Perfecto's alone, they swing through the heaven smoke to keep the pressure on. That gives Perfecto so much comfort in front of Monster. Ooh, awkwardly done for ECSTATIC. Towing the line on this T side right now as Cloud9 are making all the right rotations. Very good at doing so on this map. We saw Cloud9 pull a huge comeback on the CT side of Overpass against Legacy, if you remember that. They got 3 T rounds to open. They still won the game in regulation. Only dropped 1 round in the second half, so Cloud9 have done it already this tournament. That was their last game on Overpass. They are very mobile. I like that front toilet setup as well, able to trade each other off pretty nicely and still provide a way for the divider player to escape. They get away with playing AAA so much. This this is not the round to do it, though. Knowing ECSTATIC's economy is low, B is usually going to seem like the better option in this round. But ECSTATIC have one rifle and a bunch of deagles, so they're going to let Queenix lead and let him work the map. Conga line, the snake through the bathrooms. It's classic.
Boomich has bought out the AWP here as well.
Ooh.
He's watching with that from inside of the site. Up against the pistols, sometimes that can make you nervous.
You've gone through.
He's in danger of getting overwhelmed. Can't afford to miss these shots. And so Axel,
team flash.
that was Boomich's flashbang. Luckily enough, not punished. ECSTATIC, that nade is going to shred them. Very well played out of Axel.
TK in there as well.
Oh, I like that Axel's been looking good, man.
He has been
so
sharp.
Reassuring.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when we were kind of looking at this Cloud9 squad, when it was getting dissected and picked apart and you were trying to form a list of players who could go to bring in an AWPing presence, really it was down to two. It was down to like Axel or Hobbit. And Axel's now having a really good showing in the elimination stage. He's given us some nice moments throughout, even in the opening. Hobbit has been paramount to the success of Cloud9, it's felt like. I mean, we were even saying back in Cato that felt like they were kind of playing for their contract, for their time on the team. Odios had success over here at short in this start of the streak for ECSTATIC, but no such love in this round as Hobbit. Tandem push out through short nets the man advantage for Cloud9. And they also saw that there was no one else from ECSTATIC out towards short. There was no more attention down towards B. Connector door was blowing off and the trade attempt never came through. So there's a lot of info off of that one engagement down towards short. And so you'll see Cloud9 adjust accordingly, bringing a third player back up towards the top site.
Not much util. Sure, they have a couple of smokes and mollies, but you would love more flashes to push Boomich back. He's been playing very confidently, despite not necessarily having the repertoire to back it up. A couple of good maps here and there for Boomich, but the inconsistencies have been showing in Cloud9's AWPing. Boomich hits his back behind the smoke. Hobbit and Axel come flying through, and Queenix is left in the blink of an eye. 1v5. Cloud9, it feels like they always have enough players in this top site. Even when you catch them lacking, they are not a team that's afraid of running through that dumpster smoke into truck. And that's surprising considering in the CS2 version of Overpass, truck is nerfed. It's way smaller, you can't really hide out behind it and let long players out. But Cloud9, fearless right now on their rotation. 6-3, controlling the game since ECSTATIC's early start.
Yeah, I kind of hope that we see ECSTATIC, even if they don't get good results from it, try to do something around Monster, because, you know, for Cloud9, B-Hold feels very comfortable right now. Oh, we've smoked Monster? Well, they're not going to go through. They've just shown us throughout this entire game. They're not going to look to challenge that. When you think about names like Electronic on this map, he's kind of synonymous with those Monster smoke walks, right? And ECSTATIC haven't shown that same gumption over here. Whenever you've got a smoke down, it's safe territory.
Nice.
Nade Stack will deal with Electronic as the point man. Perfecto's still here to take up arms, and he will look to lock them out of this B site. Between him and Hobbit, they've repelled the B play. The nades were nice for ECSTATIC, putting that pressure on, but the rotates are now arriving. Salazar's shut down, finished off, and locked out of any hope of that 1v3.
Cloud9 will die for their teammates, there's no doubt about it. Again, just coming through these smokes on rotations, just you can't make them scared. They know they have number advantage, they use it so well. And Perfecto, we say this a lot, but it probably feels like one of his best positions in the game. CT side, B anchor on Overpass. They'll leave him solo at times. And yeah, him and Hobbit lock it down. Despite the nade stack, he still gets 2 kills out of it. A nice try on the eco for ECSTATIC, a cool idea, but can't win a round off of that play. Oh, flash goes over. Axel shooting at ghosts. ECSTATIC, they need these last couple of rounds here on this T side. 3, sure, technically it's enough, but Cloud9 are playing very good CS at the moment.
Not to mention, it's like how this is unraveled, right? Like 3 rounds is okay. You can do something with it. It's not over if you lose the pistol. You at least have that. And this is a CT-sided map, but it's the fact that you immediately found success in the first rifle round, and you had Cloud9 right where you wanted them. And since that point, since that initial streak, you've done nothing. And it's felt very dominant. It's not like these have been dicey rounds.
And again, Cloud9, 3 on A. And it's not like they even have the info to guarantee this play. They still have front toilets. They don't have long. And they're right. They're nailing it on the head right now. Boomich getting aggressive. Hits his shot on the side step. And ECSTATIC just trying to push the orb back now. But Boomich takes a new line on long. That's Patty's position, the one player we felt like we can rely on right now for ECSTATIC. Are they going to duck down B last second into Nodios?
Yeah, they kind of have to. Nodios hasn't been making noise here. He's just been sitting and waiting. But that's allowed Cloud9 to have some util, to keep some in the back pocket.
Look at him
and that comes out to give Perfecto the angle. Ready to deal with the monster push. Electronic now getting involved as well. And there's Perfecto emerging.
Didn't even get them. Electronic and Hobbit both there. On the map, 4 players at B. You just can't pull the wool over Cloud9's eyes. So mobile. And for a team that doesn't even have like this dependable Shiro-esque AWPer there, oh, Shiro, you jump spot A solo with AWP, we'll play quad B. That's not what Cloud9 are doing. Boomich doesn't even truly believe in it himself. He said he can't be a main AWPer. In an interview recently, he said this isn't going to be his perm role. He's not even playing it on every map, but he's hitting it when he has to. And Cloud9, a lopsided game right now. Knocking at the door is ECSTATIC with an opening kill in the last round of the half. 4 would be good, given how this game has gone. 4 would be solid.
This is late lurking B again. I just want him to make a bit of noise. I want him to drag some of this util out of the B hold while there's still 1 minute, 20 seconds left. At least make Cloud9 worried that there's a chance you could hit B.
Just used all his util so early.
Hobbit aggro position. And because they're playing contact, you won't want to spam this. Right? If the round was a bit more up-tempo and you're playing with pace, you would spam that position. You likely get the kill. Boomich on the reposition, traded after the first, but they still don't know about Hobbit. They never check for him, and now he hears them wrapping him in the bathrooms. Hobbit head on a swivel, 2nd kill in the round. Now's the time for the spam. Oh, nearly run at, but Nodios is able to contain it.
They have a chance. They have options, and they have time. It's a good call, but Cloud9 don't waver in their decision. SAT2 upper, cemented in their spots.
Silent on the approach, but Cloud9 just aren't budging. They are sticking to their guns here, and I mean, you can't blame them. Every read they've had so far has been perfect. Perfecto. Perfect's in the name, and he'll nail them as they come around long, teeing up Electronic for the close. That is a glorious CT side put forward from Cloud9. A bit of a fall down in the first rifle round that they ran, or the bonus, I guess, but very swiftly able to recover, and some very nice reads out of Boomich. Felt like they were always perfectly positioned, always had numbers in the right place.
Yeah, it's a confident gamble for Cloud9, but it's a gamble based on the knowledge that ECSTATIC probably won't go down B. They have so much to clear. At 40 seconds, they have to take back connector. They have to check that awkward railing spot on B water. Like it's actually a really awkward situation if Cloud9 have short, and they know the ECSTATIC have no info in that spot, so just walking back into A late is their best bet. Great setup for Cloud9, fantastic CT side, and in the fashion they did it as well. 7 straight rounds for C9 right now. ECSTATIC just staring down the barrel of the gun. Pistol round feels like a requirement.
Yeah, to say they need it is almost an understatement at this point, man. You know, it's not impossible. Hell, we've even seen Cloud9 do it in this sort of position, right? It's not unheard of on the CT side of Overpass. it's just not going to be easy. You're going to be kind of constantly close to getting broken. Even if you win pistol early on, we saw the vulnerabilities that still carries for the CT side, right? If you lose the first rifle round, oh no, we're going to lose a couple more. And so you really don't have any margin for error here if you're ECSTATIC. It's got to be picture perfect from here on out. So let's see what Patty and co have up their sleeve.
Double Julies. Flash. No kit here.
Heavy lean down towards B early. 4 players there, and just Salazar over towards mid. It's not even like he goes for a spot here, just playing back over towards the toilets.
He went to listen connector to see if Cloud9 ran through con. They didn't. They creep out mid. But as soon as he gets contact, yeah, this is nice. Backing all the way up, it gives him the chance to not overcommit to the duel and die, peeking into a triple Glock where you're probably going to get killed.
This is still great space for Cloud9 at least, with so much time left in the round. All the way up through toilets, not even spotted yet. They're now hearing rotates. That might speed them up here. They know that if you're scrambling bodies up towards upper, that means there's not many in the sight. Still, ECSTATIC get here in good timing, but it might not matter.
What?
3 kills from 3 apiece for Cloud9.
Out of nowhere.
And the plant comes in. Very briefly, that was a 5-on-3 for ECSTATIC. They thought they had this in the bag, and now it's nothing of the sort. Nodios is chased down. It's just Queenix, and his dualies can never even get going.
What a brutal game this is from Cloud9. You think you have them on the ropes, and it snaps and cracks you back in the face. 3-on-5, blink triple kill for Cloud9. There's no words for that one for ECSTATIC. Side down the mic. Cloud9 getting hyped. 10-3. Efficient as they try and finish this map. 3-0 in the opening stage. 0-1 on a technicality. Not many teams are beating Spirit right now. Confident through the Molotov, they push them together, but that's still good info for Cloud9, who will just trap them down in the darkness. It won't take much space on upper, there's still the scout on the site. ECSTATIC, this is a good rotation, but it will mean they need to scurry back up to top. Cloud9 really are not in a hurry in this round. That will leave them walking into this stack, however. We'll see if ECSTATIC want to keep it. 3A, 2B. But how many players is enough right now? That's the question with how Cloud9 are playing.
The aggroing over towards short as well. Mitch waiting for this. They're not going to go much further than that.
Oh,
Salazar jump spot.
That's the bomb.
Ready to go with the scout, but the shot just sails past Electronic. Whoa! Awkward for Boomich. Electronic makes amends. Still Patty floating around in the toilets.
Hello.
Able to get the reload off, but can't take it any further than that. ECSTATIC try to flood the site, flood through the smoke. But they don't live to tell the tale, and now it's just Queenix again in another 1v2. Second time in this position since the CT side begins. Now they know where he is. They've got him spotted. They've tagged him up, and he's not able to stick the landing on crossing and fighting that player at truck. Good cover from Perfecto. And so reality kind of setting in for ECSTATIC here. This might be a pretty dominant victory for the opposition.
Yeah, it's feeling inevitable.
They would tumble down 0-2 after a very close match versus Mouse to Open. And then in the rematch, their chance for revenge over Cloud9, a dominant L. They would have to recover in the BO3s, and we touched upon it earlier. That BO3 pool of teams is a scary place to find yourself.
It's only going to get worse. Still have FaZe yet to play.
They forced up here.
I mean, they're on the ropes. They force last, they force again. They make it 1v2, but really it's more about just getting rounds on the game. And Electronic are sending it out Monster. Only player struggling here for Cloud9. Maybe he feels like he's against pistols, but ECSTATIC give him a reality check. However, Cloud9, they started the last round the same as well, 4v5. Didn't stop them. This time they're even better armed, AKs across the board. I've never seen so many gold arabesque on both halves. ECSTATIC all have them. Guessing from Zippel. And Cloud9 have got a couple themselves.
I mean, we talked about how Electronic's been having a bit of a rough go at it here. You got to shout out Kragan on the other side, usually more than safe pair of hands, but really hasn't been in this game.
No.
And it was going to be hard, even if he was quiet, let alone hard to do it without him. Perfecto and Boomich, good trade work to get them out through Monster. And these are the sort of Monster take rounds that ECSTATIC never even ran in their T side. Never set that paranoia of the B play in. Salazar, scout looking through, Kragan with a swing from shore.
Hello.
And he might be in for his redemption round here and now. It's just Perfecto to beat, but this guy's been phenomenal in the clutches. Haven't been able to get past him. And it might be more of the same from Perfecto, as it's just one man left to finish. Salazar is spotted, and Perfecto executes him. Cloud9 onto match point, and ECSTATIC barely even in the server.
So clean from Perfecto. Another clutch coming through. It's the second in the game. And at least they had that in the Mouse matchup. They had the clutches 3-1 in favor of ECSTATIC. Nothing of the sort on this overpass. This is a statement from Cloud9. May have made it close on Ancient. Overpass, your go-to map, your most played map. Nothing of the sort. It's not even our favorite. A reassuring look for Cloud9, who are in an extremely questionable period for this team, and for the roles, and for the form of some of the individuals, but right now, not falling to the underdogs. It's a question about the peak for Cloud9. Can they take on those top fives?
Yeah, you know, I think if anything, that's like the big takeaway, right? Especially with, as we touched on earlier, the clean run for them through the opening stage. They showed that they don't have that proclivity to like fall down versus the lesser opposition. It's all about where the ceiling lies for this team and how consistently they're able to reach those peaks. Because you've even seen them play favorites before, and if everyone's feeling it on the day, then the team still looks really good. It's just about finding that consistency.
And, you know, 3 buys in a row for ECSTATIC. Of course, this one is...
I mean, this is like salt in the wound. This hurts even more. You played your CT side of Overpass where you needed like your big Valiant comeback with never even a full gun round because of those purchasing decisions.
And the last 2 rounds, they had 5v4s. Well, this time it goes the other way.
And just Salazar left over towards Long. He's mollied off. He's trapped in a box, and Boomich is surely going to find him here. So the beginning of the end for ECSTATIC, staring O2 dead in the face, and no sign of turning this one around. It's a dominant win teed up for Cloud9. Electronic's not even leaving the dab spawn,
You won't need to.
As this one looks to get put to rest, Cloud9, no missteps today, and strong performances across the board. Nodios getting that one back is not the diamond in the rough they hope. He'll get finished off, and